Welcome to Deep Space Nine. The Chief told me to expect you. The Zenkethi officer is in the far room at the back. A Starfleet captain is speaking to her.
Good to see you again. Tensions are running pretty high where the Zenkethi are concerned, but Captain Parr has gone through a lot to help the Alliance. She deserves a fair shake.
We keep meeting under less than ideal conditions. The Chief of Security thought it was a prudent measure. Technically, I am under protective custody until the Alliance decides what to do with me. I cannot fault this decision. Our military has much to answer for, myself included. There are many who might see a Zenkethi face and decide to seek vengeance. Thank you. Far too many lives have been lost in this crusade, so I'm glad the tactical data I provided helped to save some. No longer. I renounce the title of captain after committing mutiny. Part of the price I paid to save those lives today. Let's move on. I have more information for the Alliance. I presume you are here to collect it. Are you ready to hear my story? It began on my first mission as captain. I remember it clearly. Captain's log, mission cycle 132. We have arrived at System 91, local designation Eok. Admiral Zen Tarak prepares to conduct Transuni cleansing operations. Our tactical reports indicate minimal threat from the locals. This should be another egg run.
Captain Parr, we are receiving an incoming transmission from Admiral Zen Tarak.
Let's not keep the Admiral waiting, Ensign. Put him on screen.
The planet Eog scans show it to be filthy with the eggs of the hatred Transuli. Their defenses are generally inferior, but their fleet could be dangerous in large numbers. While our ground squad prepares the weapon, we will ensure no ship leaves this system. If one ship with one egg escapes, the contagion spreads. That is not acceptable. I know this is your first mission as Captain F. Don't let your excitement distract you from the task at hand. Stay alert!
Of course, Admiral. We're prepared to enforce containment protocol as ordered, sir.
See to it that you do, Captain. Zen Tarak out. Eoki fleet on intercept course. Eliminate them.
Starstruck. We're not warriors. Spare us, please.
They have their clock.
Please stop. We're civilians. There's children here.
Listen, we have laudanum. It's all yours if you let us go. What? Be reasonable.
We're not the threat. Together. Has no weapon.
Yes, as you wish, Admiral. Far out.
Command is a difficult path to walk at times, Captain. Yet you performed your duties well. It will reflect in my next report to the Autarch. I have seen great promise in you today. Faithful service to the Coalition is well rewarded. Don't forget that.
Thank you, sir. I will not forget today's events for a long time, if ever. That mission took a toll upon me and my crew. To eradicate the Transuli was one thing. The eradication of innocent Ioki was another. Despite my personal feelings, I remained a loyal officer. Things would change under Cronus 3. I led the protomatter bomb squad myself.
Draconis 3 is a primitive, pre-industrial backwater planet. There is a large infestation. You know what to do, Captain. And Neff, keep your guard up down there. We think the target site is a temple. If that's so, the local savages may try to stop you. Feel free to discourage them. Aggressively if necessary.
Our firepower should discourage them, Admiral. They shouldn't pose much of a threat to the mission.
We're good to go here. The weapon's in the green. Protomatter Matrix is stable and primed. The Admiral wants us to deploy the bomb in the largest concentration of Transuli eggs. Looks like that's in some type of structure ahead, not far from here. Ready to go when you are, Captain.
All right, let's move out. Keep an eye out for the locals and make sure the weapon is protected. No more lucky shots like they're known for, okay? The Admiral roared at me for a 10 cycle over that.
$50 credits as Tashan drops the bomb. Again. Oh, I'll take that. I'm standing right here, you know. This pillar points down the road to that great construction.
Enemy combatants in close proximity.
Large concentration of Transuli eggs ahead. Doesn't matter where we put it. The whole planet gets scoured. Ask the Admiral. Sure, he'd just love to tell you. You know, after giving you a year of latrine duty. Both of you, shut it. We've got a job to do here. Yes, sir. Sorry, Lieutenant. Just stay disciplined. Remember what happened on Hatara. They wouldn't want these eggs to hatch if they knew what was inside them. Look at this picture. There's a Vulcan in it. Mammals all look the same to me. You know, they probably say the same about us, right? I don't look anything like you. I'm actually good looking. What? Are they worshipping the eggs? Are these fools gathering Transuli eggs? Status report, Captain. Have you breached the structure yet?
Yes, sir. We found something interesting as well. Transmitting data now.
Starfleet. Interesting. Your scans indicate that image is centuries old. More Federation time travel nonsense, perhaps. Proceed with your mission, Captain. We don't have time for archaeology. Captain, Transuli signatures are most concentrated here. This looks like a prime detonation site, Captain. We'll get the weapon placed and ready to go. This won't take long. Who's on Overwatch while we deploy the bomb?
That'll be me. Get the weapon ready. I'll make sure you aren't interrupted.
Door closing? Hey! We're still in here! Captain! Bomb placement complete. Planning for detonation now.
Enemy combat in close proximity.
Bomb squad reporting. Need to stabilize the proto matrix here. Bomb's ready, but we're stuck in here. Transporters can't lock on. We're reading a large number of life signs massing near your location, Captain. A large assault is imminent. Is the weapon ready to deploy?
In moments, sir, but my men are still trapped in the structure. Transporters can't lock onto their signals.
Unfortunate, but we don't have time to extract them. We've received a priority assignment from the Autarch himself. We must depart at once. Prepare for transport.
Sir, give us a little more time. Beam an engineering team down. We can break into the structure with explosives.
You have your orders, Captain. Your men are acceptable losses, as are you. Would you like to join them?
No, sir. I would not. I left those men to die. And for what? So the Admiral could reach his next genocide on time. It was madness.
So there were no evacuation plans? No rescue efforts?
None. The Autarch's orders were quite clear on those matters, and the Admiral was all too willing to execute those orders. When we reached the Atosi system, it had become clear. Our crusade was not a just one.
Atosi Prime. Long-distance scans suggested the presence of Transuli infestation. We'll need to be certain. Standard operating procedure, Captain. Begin by conducting a scan of the planet.
Yes, sir. Let's hope this was a false alarm.
Counselor Halatunum. I speak for the Atosi people. We know of you, Zenkethi, and your purpose here. If you scan our planet, you'll discover that it is free of the bioform objects you seek to destroy. A scan of our moon will reveal the presence of those objects in totality. When we heard the fate of other worlds like ours, we collected the objects and placed them there for you. Scour the moon as you will. It is devoid of life. Atosi Prime, however, is not. Over 4 billion souls dwell here. In their name, I ask you now, spare our world. Spare our lives.
Captain, confirm the Councilor's story. Scan both planet and moon. Verify the location of the Transuliates. We've been lied to before, and at great cost. I won't be deceived here today! No signs of infestation, Captain. Shall we scan the moon next?
Yes. Helm, set a course for the Atosi moon.
Captain, I'm reading a large concentration of Transuli eggs on the Atosi moon.
Very well. Prepare the torpedo launcher.
As you can see, we have been truthful.
Captain, return to the planet and conduct a deep scan. I want to be absolutely certain there is no remaining infestation within this system.
As you wish, Admiral.
Report, Captain. I'm picking up low-level signs of infestation across the planet. Are you as well?
Negative, Admiral. I believe the Atosi were being truthful here. There's no sign of Transuli infestation on our sensors.
It could be residual traces left behind when they move the eggs. Or it could be shielded pockets of infestation. Another crude attempt to deceive us. We must be certain, Captain. Prepare to scour Atosi Prime.
Sir, with all due respect, Atosi Prime is not a threat to us. There's no need for this.
There is every need, Captain. Since you appear to be incapable of following my orders, I will deal with Atosi Prime myself. Tactical, prepare to fire a protomatter torpedo at Atosi Prime.
Admiral, no. Don't do this, sir.
No, we're not a threat. We're not...
I could stomach no more after that. I could no longer walk upon the path of madness. And my crew felt the same. Together, we began to walk a new path.
spite of your service to the Autarch and the Coalition, I will not have you shot for treason. If it were anyone else, be warned. The next time you see fit to walk the path of disobedience, I will not stay my hand. I'll see to it that your entire lineage is purged from existence to the last scale and egg. Do I make myself clear, Captain?
Yes, you do, sir. Helm, get us out of here.
Admiral Zen Tarak has a lot to answer for. We can only hope the Zenkethi Crusade has come to an end at last and that nothing like this ever happens again.
That path, that choice, led me to where we are now. Walking it ultimately gave me the strength to stand against the Admiral and defect to the Alliance. I think we can both agree that journey has reached its end. From this point forward, I begin to walk along the path of atonement. That journey will never end for me, but I will help as many as I can with every step I take. Thank you. I hope your superiors have the same opinion as well. As long as the Autarch lives, he will continue to pursue his insane crusade. I believe I can be of use to the Alliance when the time comes to stop him, once and for all. I shall abide by their decision until our paths merge once more.
Sounds like Captain Parr has had some harrowing experiences out there. It's clear that the Autarch is dedicated to wiping out every last threat to the Zenkethi by any means necessary. Disturbing. Alliance officials will be reviewing the Captain's request for asylum soon. The help she's given us, and your report, will go a long way toward the approval of that request. The Alliance has agreed to a summit meeting with the Dominion to discuss the return of the Herc, and what can be done to prevent their aggression from devastating all 4 galactic quadrants. Despite recent events, we've agreed to host the summit at Deep Space Nine. None of the galactic powers are comfortable hosting a Dominion fleet deep within their territory. Meet with me at DS9 prior to the beginning of the summit. I'd like to discuss our options.
Please, we're low on fuel and supplies. We need help, badly.
Come on. The High Council has announced several challenges to
This
the
is Station
Empire,
Control. Welcome to
worthy
Deep
of a
Space
warrior
Nine.
such
Your
as
docking
yourself.
clearance has been authorized.
Would you like to review
Several of
them?
our docking facilities were damaged in the recent conflict. Please proceed to the provided coordinates. Also, Captain Nog is waiting to meet with you on the promenade at your earliest convenience. Enjoy your stay here at the station.
Hello. Nice to be working with you again. I've been assigned to assist you here on the station. The leaders of the 4 major delegations have asked to meet with you prior to the summit meeting. Their offices are located here on the promenade. Admiral Quinn's office is behind those doors.
The results of this summit could have long-lasting effects. A number of our allies, particularly the Klingons, consider the Herc to be a Dominion problem. The Federation sees this as a chance to improve relations with the Dominion. Having allies in the Gamma Quadrant instead of enemies would be a great step toward galactic peace.
Here is Proconsul Deton's office.
This summit may be difficult. While your people will see a path toward peace, I suspect the Klingons will feel the opposite. There is no love lost between them and the Dominion, or the Herc for that matter. The Republic position is one of pragmatism. A weakened Dominion will be easier to deal with, and the Herc are a threat no one can ignore.
Chancellor Jempok has an office here.
This summit may not end well. Most of the High Council sees the Herc as a Dominion problem. They are content to let them fight to the end and deal with any survivors. But there are others, such as Martok, who see that position as dishonorable. If they want to fight the war of their ancestors, so be it. But they will be doing so without the Empire. The same could be said for your Federation, should they choose to aid the Dominion.
Ambassador Odo is here, coordinating security efforts.
I'll be blunt. The Herc have decimated most of the Dominion. All but one fleet, gone. It's all the Jem'Hadar can do to keep our remaining worlds from being laid waste. There is no diplomacy with the Herc. We don't know why they're attacking. We're not even sure where they're coming from. I'm sure there are those in the Alliance who would be content to let the Herc destroy us. But where do you think they'll turn once they're finished?
There are several Alpha Quadrant leaders here for the summit. Kai Kira of Bajor, Counselor Garrick of Cardassia, and my father, Ferengi Grand Nagus Rom. I recommend meeting with them as well. Their worlds will be on the front line if the Herc launch a full invasion into this quadrant. Looks like Counselor Garrick is in his old tailor shop. Huh.
Hello there. I take it you're not here to update your ensemble. Though if you'd like a few suggestions, I'd be happy to provide some. In the meantime, let's talk about serious business, shall we? I'm sure you'd like to know Cardassia's position on the Herc problem. It's simple, really. They're a menace, and one we should deal with swiftly. Surprised? Don't be. Cardassia was recently attacked by the Herc. We'd have fared poorly without help from our neighbors. Even the Lucari and the Ferengi offered a hand. I trust this lesson isn't lost on you. If we stand alone, we're doomed. Will there be anything else?
My father is in my uncle's bar. Hard to believe he used to work there, huh?
I was wondering when you'd come along. I'm guessing you're here to talk about the Herc and what we want to do about them. It's no secret that the Ferengi aren't a military powerhouse like the Klingons. Most of the time, we'd be happy to make a tiny profit from all of this, and as far away from it as possible. That changed when the Herc attacked Ferenginar. We would have been wiped out without help. And we didn't get it from Starfleet or the Klingons. We got it from the Lucari and the Cardassians. Even a few not-cool ships showed up to fight. That showed us that this is everyone's fight, big or small. So we're in. And if the 34th rule of acquisition comes into play, well... Did you have another question?
I believe the Kai is here, in the Bajoran Temple.
Hello there. I suppose Admiral Quinn sent you down here to see where Bajor stands. I can tell you we're worried. The Herc were a few ships away from ravaging our homeworld, and if the Dominion falls, they'll be back, and we'll be the first to face them, so Bajor stands ready. We'll do what we can to stop the Herc, even if that means joining forces with the Dominion. There's something else I should mention. I've experienced visions recently, a sign from the prophets. I see a place I've been before, a world beyond the grip of death. It's the home of a former Kai, and it's in the Dominion. I should also mention that I've seen you in this vision as well. I believe we're going to take a journey together soon. Something else on your mind?
The Alliance has asked a number of special consultants to attend the summit. I know each of them well, and I can vouch for their knowledge and skill. Even my Uncle Quark. Despite his reputation, his knowledge of the Gamma Quadrant is valuable. Just don't mention Latinum in the discussion, or the value of his information could rise considerably.
Ah, Admiral Quinn's attaché. Nice to meet you. Dr. Julian Bashir, recently commissioned Starfleet officer, at your service. We're doing what we can to get things in order after that business with the Zenkethi and the Herc. The station took quite a beating, worse than I saw during the Dominion War. We're still treating casualties, and it looks like we'll be seeing more soon. A lot. The situation is compounded by the presence of civilians, both local and from other systems, even the Dominion. We have a number of refugees from the Gamma Quadrant on the station, and more on the way. Clearly, the sooner we can solve the Herc dilemma, the better. We'll be beyond our capacity to help the refugees soon, as will Bajor. I mustered out some time ago to start a private practice on Trill. Since then, I've worked on special projects for Starfleet from time to time as a consultant. Even managed to start a family. Needless to say, I wasn't initially thrilled with the idea of putting the uniform on again. Still, it's very hard to say no to Kai Kira and Captain Dax. And so here I am, back on the front of an interstellar conflict. Here's hoping it's a brief one. Something on your mind?
Hello. Oh, it's been a while since I've been in this place. I can't believe Quark still has that hollow me in here. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest. I wish we were all here under better circumstances. Then again, DS9's always been a trouble magnet. I guess peace is a little too much to ask for around here. My husband is risking a lot of capital, political and otherwise, by choosing to get involved with all of this. Fortunately, he's the best Grand Nagus to come around in a long time. The best ever, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm pretty biased on that point. Look, if I were this mirror version of me I've been hearing so much about, I'd have a lot more tactical advice to offer. As it is, my advice to you is this. Take a look around. Think about all the civilians, the refugees, people who are depending on you to protect them. Think about the best way you can do that, if you can. That's what I'd do if I were in your shoes. Boots, whatever. Was there something else?
Don't suppose you're here for a drink? Holosuite? Dabo? Can't blame me for trying to find profit while I can. My fool of a brother, the Nagus, seems hell-bent on getting the Ferengi into this mess. Not a lot of profit in fighting the Herc, 34th rule or not. You can't spend your money when you're dead. If you ask me, we'd be better off sealing that wormhole and saying goodbye to the Herc and the Dominion forever. I'd miss the Tulaberry wine, but I'd get over it. But seeing how that'll never happen, especially as long as Kira's still breathing, I suppose I'll have to dig in like everyone else. You know what the worst part of this mess is? Odo. He's back like a kind of ghost haunting me. I must be cursed. Can I get you something?
There's a number of refugee groups here on the promenade.
It must be a surprise seeing Kremens here on a Federation station. Let that sink in for a minute. It's so bad in the Dominion that its citizens are looking for safe haven with their former enemies. We were the lucky ones. We got out early. I've heard rumors about a blockade, keeping the rest of us from leaving the homeworld. It might be true. I haven't seen any more Kremens arrive here for a while now. Oh, please. The Founders have forsaken us. Don't let the Alliance turn their backs on us, too.
We're lucky to be alive, friend. There was little warning before the Herc attacked our homeworld. We sent a call to the Founders, but no Jem'Hadar ships came. Our local defense force didn't last long. A few of us managed to get away on ships before the Herc closed in. Word of the Bajorans and their faith reached us after the war ended. There's stories about one of their spiritual leaders. She came to the worst of us, on our prison moon, to bring the wisdom of the prophets. So, when the Hurk came, we decided to come here, through the Celestial Temple, to seek deliverance. If the Founders won't listen to us, perhaps Kai Kira and the prophets will.
Quinn here. The summit will begin soon. I'd like to go over what you've learned. Interesting. The Klingon and Romulan positions were somewhat predictable. But I'm surprised by the resilience of the Cardassians and Ferengi. I'm also concerned about the Gamma refugee issue. We'll need to work with the Bajorans to manage the situation here. We should get to the conference room. Report to me there when you arrive.
Come right now. Don't walk. Run.
Well, everyone's here and no one started shooting. Could be worse. That was a joke. Take a moment to relax, speak with the others. Things will be serious soon enough.
I'm glad you're here. I've been feeling conflicted lately. All the worlds we saved from the Zenkethi were also home to thousands of dormant Hurk. By saving those planets, we also saved a great number of enemies. Those very enemies have since attacked a number of worlds, including my own. You're right, of course. If only there'd been another way to resolve things. If the Zenkethi would have listened to reason. I suppose we should place our hope in working together to stop the Hurk. I can't help but think there's a path to peaceful resolution in all of this. There's got to be some way to end this madness before more lives are lost.
Hello again. I spoke with Odo about the vision we discussed. He's agreed to clear a mission to the old sector. Opaka, the former Kai I mentioned, lives there now. I believe so, yes. The Kai has a condition that has prevented her from leaving until now. Odo has provided us with data that could lead to a cure. If there's a chance, I'm willing to take it. Her wisdom could help us all greatly. I realize this is a lot to take in, but I hope I can count on your help when the time comes.
Greetings. I am Wayun 10. I'm glad we had this moment to talk before the summit begins. I trust you relayed everything you learned from us to your superiors. If I may be so bold, I hope that you conveyed a need for cooperation with the Founders as well. At least in matters regarding the Hurk, if not in all things.
The Jempak is more of a political creature than he was. Well, when we were both a lot younger. He's not willing to face the truth. There are Klingons who fear the Hurk, hiding behind politics and rules. Grethar waits for their worthless souls. Know this. There are still Klingons who know where their blades belong. We will not dishonor our ancestors and ignore the Hurk. We will fight them to our dying breath in the name of Kahless and the Empire!
If I can have everyone's attention, thank you. Let's begin the summit. We have a lot to discuss. Thank you all for coming. By now, you should be aware of our tactical situation. The Dominion, as you know it, is on the verge of collapse. We've withdrawn to our core systems, and the lines are holding, for now. Without your help, the Hurk will win the war of attrition.
What about your outer systems? We're receiving refugees here, from those areas.
We have one fleet left, Admiral. That's hardly enough to defend the entire Dominion.
I'm failing to see how this concerns the Empire.
The recent battle here is a sample of what the Hurk can do.
If you think they'll stop at the wormhole, you're sadly mistaken.
Need I remind you that the Dominion came to your aid in the Iconian War? I seem to recall Klingons placing high value on debts of honor, or has that changed?
Mind your tongue, changeling! I will not be insulted!
Admiral Quinn to Ops. What's happening?
We're under attack, Admiral. It's the Herc! Reading Herc boarding parties! Multiple decks! They've concentrated in the damaged pylon. Ore processing area.
I need you to get to that damaged pylon section and lock it down before the Herc trigger an explosion that could wreck the station.
Bad news. The hangar security shield is on the verge of collapse. If it drops, you'll get pulled out into space, so let's make sure that doesn't happen. You need to stabilize the power relays and recalibrate the shields. There are consoles near your position you can use to do this. Nice work, but it's not over yet. The Herc have moved into the ore processing area above your position. There's a lot of unstable uridium ore in there. If they damage it, it could ignite and set off a chain reaction that could destroy the pylon. You'll need to make your way up there to secure the area and restart the safety systems there. like the access system in this section was reset. You'll need to rotate the central column and extend the bridges in order to reach the next section. Okay, you're almost in the clear. The safety systems for the area are currently offline. You'll need to restore power to that section and reinitialize the safety systems to get everything back online. The safety systems are reinitializing. They should be up and running in a few minutes. Nice work. Hold on. I'm picking up multiple Herc life signs in your area. They're converging on your position. I need you to defend that section from the Herc until the system comes online again. If they get in before that happens, they could knock it offline again, or worse.
Enemy targets on sensor.
attacking the station and several civilian vessels in the system. I've sent ships to assist them, but I'm concerned our forces are spread too thin. I'd like you to work with those ships to protect the civilians while the rest of us defend the station. First Dukan Rex will accompany you as a combat escort.
Starfleet vessels, this is Quinn. Protect civilian targets.
Nice work. But I'm afraid there's bad news. We're picking up Herc vessels and they're heading our way. The station's weapon systems are offline. We need a few minutes to get them up and running. Until then, we're a sitting duck over here. I've asked every ship in the sector to regroup and prepare for battle. Let's hope it's enough.
Honor your ancestors! Fight now and destroy the Herc!
Concentrate fire on their capital ships.
I need those systems online!
We're not picking up any Herc ships on long-range sensors, for now, at least. I think it's clear that the Dominion is prepared to work with you to stop the enemy. I hope the Federation is ready to do the same. In the meantime, our fleet will do what it can to keep the Herc on our side of the wormhole. Tell Admiral Quinn not to wait too long to make a decision. This will reach the Federation faster than anyone would like, believe me.
The Herc threat is real, and we can't afford to let it expand throughout the galaxy. There will be resistance to getting involved, but I believe we have no choice. The Federation must render aid to the Dominion if we're to have any chance of stopping the Herc onslaught. In the meantime, Kai Kira of Bajor has requested a mission to the Innis system, and Ambassador Odo has authorized it. The Kai has asked for our assistance on this. She asked for you by name. Whatever she needs, make it so.
Congratulations, Admiral.
I need your help with a very sensitive mission. A former Kai, Opaka, was trapped on a prison moon in the Gamma Quadrant in 2369. Alien nanotech in her system prevents her from leaving the moon, but it also sustains her life indefinitely while on the surface. It seems the wardens of the prison were planning on curing and granting amnesty to the prisoners until their planet was decimated by the Herc. Somehow, the Dominion managed to obtain the cure, and they've provided it to us as a peace offering. The moon hasn't been hit by the Herc, but it's only a matter of time. We need to cure Opaka and the others and get them out of there before that happens. Something else on your mind? Good, we've arrived. I suggest scanning the prison moon and its satellite network. They might have fixed the design flaw we exploited here years ago to bypass their defenses.
Those satellites could cripple a Starfleet runabout with one shot back then. I'd rather not find out how powerful they are now, if you don't mind. Looks like the satellite weapon and defense systems were updated to deal with modern vessels, but they still have the same flaw that Miles O'Brien took advantage of years ago.
You should be able to distract the satellites by firing probes near their position. Distract enough of them, and you'll clear an area long enough to safely beam down an away team. Picking up some debris clouds from Herc ships in orbit.
It's possible some Herc bypassed the satellites. We should be ready.
Looks like O'Brien's trick still works. The satellites took the bait, and we have a safe transport window. We're in position. I recommend we bring some pattern enhancers along. Local interference can make it tough to get a lock on, and we might have to leave in a hurry. All right, the doctor and I are ready to beam down when you are. Though I can't say I'm thrilled to see that moon again.
Ah, the wreckage of the Yangtze Jiang. Or what's left of her, rather. Looks like the locals have scavenged everything of value from the old girl. Unlike her, they can never die thanks to the nanotech inside of them.
Right. The last time we were here, the prisoners were eager to be cured, if only to get the chance to kill their rivals off for good. I'm hoping that Opaka has shown them a better path in the time she's been here among them.
We're not alone. Herc life signs dead ahead. This is interesting. I just ran a medical scan on these Herc. They're not regenerating. There's no sign of the alien nanites in their bodies. Something in the Herc genetic makeup isn't compatible with the nanites. I suspect it only works on humanoids. I think you'll find that she'll be in good health within moments. The healing nanites are quite effective. In fact, they seem to have become more efficient than they were last time I was here.
You can relax. I'm fine now. Really.
You made it. Good. The Kai's been expecting you. Yes, she's had a vision about you coming here. Come with us. We'll take you to her. Unless you'd rather stand around here until more of those things show up. The Kai's waiting for you, in the temple ahead.
Welcome. It's been some time since we've had peaceful visitors. And Kai Kira, it's been too long. Truly, the prophets have smiled upon us today.
Indeed they have. We have brought the cure. You'll be able to live a normal life away from here. You'll be free.
And we have something to bring with us. A miracle.
Is that?
Yes. A blessing from the prophets. The Orb of Peace. Through it, we ended the war between Ennis and Noel Ennis. As you can see, our peace has been shattered by the arrival of the hostile aliens. We have tried to speak with them, to find reason, but we have failed. We don't even know their name.
They're called Herc, and there's no reasoning with them. They attack and devastate every world, every species they encounter. We need to get you and your people out of here as soon as possible.
I see. We must take the orb with us as well. I can't have it falling into the hands of such a warlike species. It would be like the occupation all over again.
That's not going to happen. I won't allow it, and neither will my friends. We can administer the cure to everyone in groups. With your permission, we'll start right away.
Very well. Begin the procedure. I'm sure many of us are eager to leave this place and begin a new life together.
Some time ago, I asked Bashir for this cure. I wanted to use the cure as a weapon and kill the enemy. I couldn't put the war with the Knoll behind me. I hated him for denying my chance for vengeance. Now, that's changed, thanks to the Kai. I found a better path. I just want to lead a simple, natural life.
After all this time, to live a normal life, it's like waking up from a really bad dream. I can think about having a family again. An actual family. I don't know what else to say except thank you.
The cure, huh? Well, this cure had better work, friend. Or we won't be friends no more. Get me.
Then it's true what the Kai saw in her dreams. Those visions. The prophets sent us the orb, and now they sent you with our deliverance from this horrible place. Truly, the prophets smile upon us all.
Is this for real? This cure? They talked about it a little after the Kai arrived, but I thought it was a myth. Never thought it was actually real. So, I can die now. Funny, I never thought I would. And now that I can, I'm a little scared. Is that strange?
When they put me here, all I knew was war. I don't remember why it started, just that there was us and the Ennis, and the Ennis had to die. Even when the Kai came, I didn't believe. But when they found the orb, and people stopped killing, things changed for me. Guess there's something to faith after all. Anyway, thanks for everything.
Looks like you're down to 1 dose of the cure. Use that to inoculate the Kai or Parker, that is. I'll administer the cure to the rest here.
You have my thanks for all you have done for us today. May the blessings of the prophets be yours.
Those things are attacking! Defend yourselves! Going down! Medic! Someone help him!
I'm afraid he's dead. There's nothing we can do for him.
Though we will mourn the loss of our friend Colin, we can take comfort knowing that, at long last, he was able to leave this place for a better one. He is finally at peace, and his Spock will join the prophets in the Celestial Temple.
The doctor and I will stay with Opaka and her people in case the Herc make another attack here. Once you've cleared the way to the transport site, we'll join up with you there. not in one piece. Set up the pattern enhancer so we can beam out safely. There's no telling when the Herc will send reinforcements down. Let's move the ship behind the satellites and lure the Herc in. Just in time. Here they come. have had enough for now. Let's get the rest of Opaka's people out of the colony while we can. The Herc might send a larger force to finish us off.
I'm glad I was able to administer the cure to the remaining prisoners while you were clearing a path to the transport site. Everyone is safely aboard and mortal for the first time in many years. I've never seen so many people overjoyed to learn that eventually they'll die.
Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to have everyone out safely, especially Opaka. We have a lot to talk about, her and I. For now, I think we should return to Deep Space Nine before the Herc come back to settle the score. Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to have...
Welcome to Deep Space Nine.
Emissary, our paths meet again.
Hello, Ben. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad we were able to return Opaka to Bajor safely. She's determined to follow the will of the prophets and establish a new place of worship in the Gamma Quadrant near the wormhole. Odo assures me that the Dominion are open to discussing this. We'll see. Many of us have not forgotten the fate of the new Bajor colony and the Dominion's role in that. As for me, my time as Kai is coming to an end. Opaka is the Kai that Bajor needs now. I intend to guard the Celestial Temple from the Herc and anyone else who would destroy the home of the Prophets. Best place to do that is Deep Space Nine, as part of Starfleet. I'll be Captain Kira the next time you see me. Thank you again for helping me bring Opaka home. I owe you one.
The Dominion has asked the Alliance to send an expeditionary force into the outer reaches of their territory. The Herc aren't as numerous there, and we're hoping we can learn more about them while we render aid to the Dominion in that city. Ambassador Odo will be accompanying us on his flagship, along with Captain Kira aboard the Defiant. I'll be commanding a modest Cardassian fleet as well. We'll start in the Dosi system. Our latest intelligence has discovered a Herc presence in that area. Meet us there at your earliest convenience. What are you saying?
Thank you for joining us. As you can see, we can't even defend our stations from Herc attacks. It's going to take a joint Alliance and Dominion effort to stop them. We're currently at the edge of the Dosi system. Thankfully, the Herc aren't attacking the Dosi homeworld yet. They're starting to evacuate as a precaution, however.
All ships, target the Herc and fire at will.
Victory is life!
I can see you're a handy person to have around. And while I'd like to put this system far behind us, I believe we should find out what we can about the Herc and their reasons for being here. While we still can, of course. The Herc may decide to send more ships here.
Scanning in progress.
This planet appears to have been abandoned some time ago. No life signs detected. Sensors indicate an extensive network of defunct mines. I'm reading residual levels of dilithium, topoline, chemosite, and several components used in the production of Ketracel White. How curious. Of what use would this world be to the Herc? It's clearly of no value to the Dominion. Wait. I'm reading more Herc inbound.
They're going for the station. What are they after? We should scan the station once we're done with this. Transport hub, not exceptionally old. No life signs on sensors. It looks abandoned. I'm picking up trace levels of mineral resources in several storage areas, but there's nothing of note here, unless the Herc are driven solely to consume an assortment of minerals. This is a very interesting place, in that it's completely uninteresting to everyone but the Herc. Don't go to warp just yet. We're picking up a distress signal over here. You should take a look. Looks like it's a Ferengi signal of uncertain origin coming from the Karema system. I seem to recall Quark mentioning some business with the Karemans recently. This can't be a coincidence. We should look into this. Quark might have bitten off more than he can chew again.
Is that really a good use of our time? The Karemans are very resourceful. They design a considerable number of weapons and defense systems for the Dominion. I'm confident they can deal with the Herc on their own. As for Quark, he's quite capable of getting himself out of trouble. Trouble, I might add, that he had no business getting into in the first place.
I must say, Ambassador, I'm shocked. I know Quark's a gambler, but I never realized you were as well. Karema is a part of the Dominion, and an important one at that. Is losing their tactical and technological resources to the Herc wise?
Very well. Since I can see there's no talking you out of this, I'll accompany you to Karema. We're ready to go warp when you are. Let's get this over with.
Where did all these ships come from?
And here we are, the Karema system. Let's find out what Quark needs, deal with it, and move on.
Far be it for me to question the word of a founder, but that is a very large Dominion fleet I'm reading on sensors. I only mention it because we were led to believe Odo's fleet was the last. I trust there's a reasonable explanation for this miscommunication.
Your presence is not required here. Explain yourself. As are we. Karema is part of the Dominion. We are here to assist them, if they wish it. The Karemans are proud. If they wish to stand alone and deal with the Herc, we will certainly accommodate them. Should they decide to ask for aid, we will gladly assist them. The point may soon be moot, however. Karemans are known for their potent weapons and defense systems.
I will take responsibility for their actions in Kareman space. One of our operatives requires immediate extraction.
You're quite persistent, aren't you? Very well. In the spirit of our newfound pact with the Alliance, I will allow you to proceed, albeit at your own risk. Exercise caution, Odo. It would be tragic for you to come so far, only to end it all here over Karema.
It seems we're not getting the whole story here.
So, business as usual.
Exactly, Captain. My sensors are showing a broad band of interference in the area. It's jamming the standard Kareman hailing frequencies. Might I suggest giving them a new, more secure frequency to use for communications?
Hello? Can you hear me? We need help, and fast! Most of our planetary defense lines are in danger of being overrun by the Herc. We tried to evacuate, but the Jem'Hadar fleet opened fire on our ships when they broke orbit. We're trapped.
Combat is notoriously chaotic. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for that. One best pursued after we find Quark and help the Karemans.
I wonder. Ah, yes. We should try to find Quark soon. It's quite possible he's the only Ferengi on the planet. A deep-range sensor scan should locate him.
Scanning in progress.
Finally. I was beginning to wonder if anyone would come. It took you long enough. Is Garrick with you? Tell him. I found the package, so he better get here fast if he wants to go on pace. Running out of time here. The herd is closing in. Get me now! Or Odo's lifelong wish will finally come true.
We need to get Quark out quickly before he has an encounter with the Herc of the fatal variety. Let's go down together while Captain Kira and the Ambassador cover our ships in orbit. We'll have to beam down outside of Quark's location. I suggest bringing some pattern enhancers along. We may need them to beam out once we find him. We're about as close to Quark's last known location as we can get with transporters. I'm afraid we'll have to make the rest of the journey the old-fashioned way. Shall we? Quark's life sign is near here. Let's try to find a way in. How convenient. We've found a hidden path. Let's have a look. Interesting. The metal in the walls here completely scatters my sensors. Ah, more. Seen here in the light. My tricorder shows a Ferengi life sign beyond that rather secure door. Unfortunately, the Kareman security system is beyond me. Given time, I could crack it, but we're running low on that commodity. There are a number of Kareman life signs nearby, however. One of them might be able to help us reach Quark.
Thanks for the timely rescue. I don't suppose you'd be willing to turn a blind eye to all the contraband you've seen down here? It'd save me the trouble of shooting you later. Kidding. I was kidding. You know, humor. Do they have that on your planet? Anyway, you're clearly not Kareman police, so what brings you down here? Oh, Quark, yeah, I know him. Little guy, big ears, flashy dresser. I hear he owns a moon. and we locked him up in a secure room when the shooting started. A big spender like that should be kept safe. Tell you what, help us out with all these nerks, gurks, whatever you call them. Help us, and I'll help you. Deal? All right, I'll wait for you here. Try not to die, okay?
Am I glad to see you? Thought for sure we'd be safe from those things down here. Caves do a number on sensors and transporters, but that didn't slow them down much. Filthy creatures. If you don't mind my asking, why are you here? You're not with Karemin Defense. Are you mercenaries? Private security? That'd be Quark, then. Only Ferengi around here that I know of, anyway. He's in a secure vault, not far from here, with another VIP. Look, I owe you my life, but I don't have the code to get to Quark. There are others nearby. One of them should have it. Help them, and I'll make sure they open the door for you. I swear it.
The other Dominion ships just left the system. We're on our own.
The door's right there. I'll stay here while you save everyone.
Eaten by one of those things. Can't say I like that idea much, so, thanks, whoever you are. You're not police or military, or Karemin military anyway. What brought you down here to the middle of hell? Oh, him. Think I saw my brother and some of his men hustle the little grifter into a vault before those monsters got in here. Good luck getting him out of there. Wait, that was rude. You just saved my life. Let me return the favor. One of my brother's people should be able to open the door for you. Find them, and you're all set. Waiting here would be best. The outer world is still a mess.
And here we all are, alive and kicking. Wonderful. We had a deal, and I'm not about to back out on it, especially since you're all so well-armed and cranky. Not the kind of people I want to cross. Yeah. Be good. Door's open. You'd better get a move on. Your pal sounds a little stressed.
It's good to see you too, Quark. I see your mission was a successful one as well.
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Karemin tech. They found it a few days before I got here. I haven't had a lot of time to analyze it, thanks to the Herc.
I see. Thank you, Quark. This narrows things down considerably.
It does. Good. That makes it more valuable.
Indeed it does, my friend. Indeed it does.
Well, First Minister, it looks like my distress call was heard. We're saved. Thank you. Looks like your reputation for getting things done is well-deserved. And as for you, Garrick, you and I need to have a long discussion. Seems you forgot to mention that Karema was under a Dominion blockade, and in the middle of a Herc invasion. Do Cardassians go senile? Oh, don't answer that. I don't want to know. What I do know is you're not paying me enough for this aggravation.
Not the liberators I was expecting, but thank you nonetheless. I'm First Minister Bakelba. Our situation has gone from bad to worse, and we have the Dominion to thank for it. Those of us on the edge of the Dominion were abandoned when the invasion began. In light of that, we voted to secede, to truly stand alone. The Dominion stood by while the Herc attacked us. We held off the invasion for a while, but their numbers are great. When we asked for aid, the Dominion refused. When we tried to evacuate, their fleet opened fire. They mean to punish us for our defiance.
The Herc are leaving. For now.
Good luck with the revolution, Minister. You'll need it. You'll be hearing from me soon, Garrick.
I'm looking forward to it.
You won't when you see my bill.
Now that we're past that unpleasantness, I think it's time we had a chat with Ambassador Odo, particularly about this technological wonder we've acquired. Excellent. I'll make all of the necessary arrangements and meet you aboard Odo's flagship.
What is this?
Stand down, all of you. To what do I owe this unexpected visit?
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, Ambassador. We need to speak in person.
What are you up to, Garrick?
That's a very good question. What's this about exactly?
It's in regard to this device we found on Karema. Do you know what it is?
No idea. Some new Kareman military tech, perhaps?
Interesting. But no. The Karemans didn't make this. But it is a Dominion creation.
And its purpose?
I'm sure I have no idea, Ambassador. It does emit a signal, however. It's quite similar to that used by the Herc. Perhaps I should turn it on and show you?
There's no need for that.
I don't like where this is going, Garrick.
Nor I, Captain. You see, I found a similar device on Bajor.
On Bajor? When?
Right after the recent Herc attack, I'm afraid. Captain, scan the device. You'll find the soil residue on it is of Bajoran origin.
It does. It's from the Kendra province. Well, that doesn't mean that Odo...
Enough, Nerys. I can't have you defending me on this.
What?
Garrick's right. These devices called the Herc, and we put them there.
Explain. Now.
We needed the Alliance's help immediately. There wasn't time for summits or diplomacy. So I found a high-valued target and led the Herc to it. I also took steps to make sure their attack would fail. Bajor was never at risk. You have to understand that.
You put my entire planet at risk. People died, Odo.
Nerys!
Save it. I've heard enough.
Please, continue, Odo. You were saying?
I did what I needed to do to bring the Alliance into the war. I lied. Risked the lives of millions to save billions more. But there's more to this than a staged Herc attack. The other Founders are hiding things from me. If I challenge them now, I'll have no chance to find out what. So, for now, I have to play the part.
Well, you're doing a great job of that, Odo. Or should I say, Founder?
Trust me when I say I understand your position, Odo. The Captain, on the other hand...
I know. I have a strong lead, but I'll need your help to move on it.
You know how to reach me. It seems you are a gambler, Odo, and a high-stakes one at that.
You have no idea. I need you to understand that Bajor was never at risk. We took precautions. I made sure that my fleet was in position to neutralize the Herc in time. Karema was not my decision. Do you honestly think I'd take part in a plot to bring allies to our side, and then move to wipe out another group of allies? As I said to Garrick, there is more to this than we know. I'm going to find out what and why. I hope you're inclined to join me when the time comes.
It is not my place to question the will of the Founders. Your mind, however, is your own. Do with it as you will, but be warned. The Founders do not appreciate betrayal. If the Alliance withdraws from their pact with the Dominion, the consequences could be severe.
Quite the revelation, don't you think? It will be interesting to see how the powers that be respond to all this. For now, I think it's best to keep this in the purview of the diplomats. Let's return to our ships. There'll be more time to speak about this matter later.
I'm surprised to see you here, Weyoun. Aren't you usually at your Founder's side, hanging on her every word?
It is a message from said Founder that brings me here now. She would remind you of your purpose, to serve the Dominion as a whole.
How kind of you to deliver the message in person. Thank you for your service. As for my service, the Ambassador shares his wisdom and guidance with me. Truly, he is a most benevolent god. Why should I not serve him? He is a Founder, after all.
Serve the Founders, yes, but also serve them well. Do recall the fate of your predecessor. She thought she served the Founders well, quite possibly to the moment her unfortunate life came to its conclusion. As we both know, she was greatly mistaken.
The same could be said for your predecessor as well, dear Weyoun. Have you forgotten his sins? I know the Founders haven't.
This is a private conversation. Unless you're here on a matter of the utmost importance, I suggest you find someone else to speak with. Somewhere else.
Be seeing you. Odo's found something intriguing in the Masan system. Something the Founders want no one to know about, even one of their own. That certainly piques my curiosity. I'll meet you in the Masan system. Odo wants to travel incognito this time. I trust you'll be able to deliver him and that surly Jem'Hadar bodyguard of his to the Masan system intact. One more thing. I've taken the liberty of informing Captain Kira, and she'll be joining us as well. After the Karema incident, she's taken a personal interest in high-level Dominion activity, particularly where Ambassador Odo is involved. Be seeing you.
I only recently learned of the station here. It's very old and very well concealed, even from Vorta and Jem'Hadar. From what I can tell, the Founders studied alien life here, including the Herc. We may be able to recover useful tactical data on them from the station's computers. No, and that concerns me. This is supposed to be an abandoned facility. Take us into comms range and open a hailing frequency. Let me do the talking. I should be able to make any Vorta or Jem'Hadar fall into line if things get difficult. So far so good. They're not targeting us.
Entering the Dominion systems without authorization has become a bad habit of yours, one I have grown weary of. You've shown a singular talent for annihilating the Herc. I suggest you return to that before my patience with your insolence expires.
There's no need for this posturing, Founder. We're here on official business under my authority.
Odo, it seems to be a day for defiance and bad habits. You do not have the authority to grant access to this system. It is restricted to all but those of the highest level, a level you do not possess. Now then, I suggest you leave immediately. Fire to disable. Odo must not be harmed.
Dominion forces, this is Counselor Garrick aboard the Tane. Cease hostilities. Consider that your first and only warning.
We must protect the Founder. All ships, disengage!
You certainly know how to make my days more interesting. An ancient Dominion research facility, guarded by the leader of the Founders? A cloaked fleet pales in comparison, but it's the best I can add to the mix. I wouldn't have missed it for the world. The fact that the Founder was willing to fire on one of her own speaks volumes on this station's worth. I look forward to discovering its secrets.
Since when does the Founder stand guard duty, Odo?
She doesn't. Let's find out what she's hiding.
We don't have a lot of time. We may have held off the Founder for now, but she'll be back, and she'll bring friends. Let's get down there and find what we came here for, before every Jem'Hadar in the Quadrant shows up.
I couldn't agree more, Captain. Why don't you and the Ambassador join the away team while I remain on guard with my fleet? On any other day, I'd be the first to beam down. However, after the Karema incident, I believe both the Captain and the Ambassador need to discover the truth of this station together. Call it a trust-building exercise.
Captain Kira makes a good point. Let's get this over with before it gets even more complicated than it already is.
Looks like the station's running on auxiliary power. We've got life support, basic lighting, not much else. If we're gonna get anything useful out of this relic, we'll need to get the main power back online.
Stay vigilant. We have no idea what to expect here.
Well done. Main power is back online. We'll be able to access other systems, including the data core. Let's find an access console and see what's in there. Hopefully the data files aren't corrupted beyond repair. This terminal is in poor shape. None of the files are accessible. Considering their age, I'm not terribly surprised. The Founders wouldn't keep a place like this hidden to protect dust and broken files. Let's check all the data terminals and consoles in the area. That one over there looks reasonably intact.
Research Report 4121.63, Dominion Reckoning. My fellow Founders, the Mesan Research Station is fully operational. As we continue to add worlds to our sphere of influence, our studies of xenobiology become more important. We must know all we can of both friend and foe. We need every advantage we can find if we are to achieve true dominion. Our Premier project is underway. You'll recall the recently discovered race of tree dwellers, hunted as we once were. Genetic engineering of these solids has produced considerable results. Their intelligence has increased by a factor of 3 so far. We predict this species will be the first of many loyal servitors and vassals.
She's talking about the Vorta. The date she gave was nearly 2,000 years ago, not long after the Dominion was founded. This facility's older than we thought. Much older.
Research Report 4653.15, Dominion Reckoning. Our scouts have discovered an interesting species of solids at the edge of the Dominion. They are a species of sentient insectoids that live primarily underground. We may not have detected them were it not for a thorough geological scan. Initial studies have revealed that these solids are based on germanium. I've attached bioscan data we collected on them for your review. I've dispatched a research unit to study these burrows further. They may be just what we need for the military initiative.
Burrowing sentient insectoids. Germanium-based. She must be talking about the Herc. Judging by the date, the Founders made first contact with the Herc nearly 2,000 years ago.
Research Report, Dominion Date 7021.27. More data has arrived on the cadre species 484 designation, burrows. Their world's unusual orbital path has taken it out of the habitable zone. As a result, the burrows have retreated underground and entered a state of hibernation. While dormant, a smaller cervital race tends to the burrows. They also maintain their shared habitat and technology. I've instructed the field team to take advantage of their dormancy period, and they are now conducting aggressive studies of these intriguing solids. My team initiated first contact protocols with the borrowers prior to their mass dormancy. They found them to be friendly and intelligent, if not willful. We've identified a common element in their food supply. Manipulation of this element may prove useful in subjugating them.
Unbelievable. It sounds like the Founders made first contact with the Herc in order to find a way to conquer them. It's like Quark says, the bigger the smile, the sharper the knife.
Research Report 7903.01, Dominion Reckoning. Cadre Species 468, designation Jem'Hadar, is a massive success. They will be the strong arm of our Dominion, guided by our cunning, brilliant Vorta. The toil of these vassals will allow us to spend more time in the link with those we hold most dear.
The birth of the Jem'Hadar as seen through a Founder's eyes. Interesting. No mention of the Herc, however. Their designation number was lower than ours. They were our predecessors. Perhaps something went wrong? Something that led the Founders to reject and abandon them for a different species. Us.
Research Report Dominion Date 8183.67. The Burrowers have emerged once again, and in a hostile state. They have taken to the stars, moving from sector to sector, attacking anyone that crosses their path. Their goal is not one of conquest, but of consumption. They leave nothing but dead worlds in their wake. Though we do not understand their newfound savagery, we have found a use for it. When the Burrowers set their sights on a world, we offer the inhabitants a choice. Those that submit to our Dominion rule are defended by the Jem'Hadar. Those that don't serve as an object lesson to others.
So, the Founders have been using the Herc to manipulate others for some time now. Bend the knee to the Dominion, or we'll stand back and let them ravage your world. Only now something's different. Something's changed. They can't keep the Herc in line with the Jem'Hadar anymore. We're all paying the price.
Research Report 8532.38. Our scouts have returned from a wormhole expedition. The solid races on the other side are primitive and unremarkable, save for one. They are called Klingons, and show a singular talent for violence, one that rivals our own Jem'Hadar. Left unchecked, these savage creatures could become dangerous enemies. While the Klingons are too willful to subjugate, their genetic material could produce viable cohorts to the Jem'Hadar, or their replacements. We have begun development of a new cadre species, designation Thakiri, using demons from Klingon folklore for inspiration. As with Jem'Hadar, we have bound them to our service with the White. We will test them in combat on the Klingons themselves. Research Report Supplemental Entry 8671.71, Dominion Reckoning. Somehow the Vakari have broken the hold of the White and turned on their rightful masters. Most of our research team were killed. Intelligence reports suggest a union between the Vakari and a Klingon warlord known as Mular. Perhaps this will lead to a state of mutually assured destruction on Kronos. One can only hope.
So it would seem. Only they lost control of them, despite the use of Ketracel White. Based on what we know about Thakiri, it seems the price they paid for their freedom was insanity. They became the monsters they were based on.
Research Report 9076.23. Final entry. I am weary. Soon I'll return to the Great Link, and I will be glad to be rid of this place. The Borrowers have emerged again. We can barely control them this time. The Jem'Hadar were able to divert their onslaught at great cost. Rather than counterattack, they went through the wormhole to seek easier prey. Our agents in the other quadrants report that the Burrow resort was a sweeping one, going as far as Kronos. Hopefully they'll devour every atom of that wretched planet. The Burrowers will eventually return to dormancy. Strangely, it appears that some of their forces intend on remaining in the other quadrants. It seems they have a long-term goal. Galactic devastation.
Yes, they knew the Herc problem was getting worse even then. Instead of preparing or seeking allies, they expanded the Dominion. And when the Herc re-emerged, they tried to deal with it on their own, and failed. Their arrogance may lead to the end of the Dominion. We need to get this data to the Alliance, all of it, even the damaged and corrupted files. There has to be information we can use in here.
I'm picking up something on my tricorder. There was a massive power spike on a lower deck, and now I'm reading a large number of systems cycling up. Something's happening down there.
Agreed. Take your team and Captain Kira down to investigate. I'll remain here and pull as much of the data as possible. We won't get another chance at this.
We must be close to the core. Hope we don't have to leave in a hurry. There's no way our ships can lock onto us down here with transporters. Tell me about it. Let's stay focused on the mission. Now that we're closer to the signal, I'm getting better readings on my tricorder. I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure everything that came online down here has some sort of medical purpose. I'm still uncertain about Odo. I need to be sure he's still not a part of all this. The Odo I knew wouldn't have risked Bajor like that. This Odo seems arrogant and reckless, even dangerous. Well, that answers one question. These are medical stasis pods. Judging by what we heard upstairs, I think the occupants are Fakiri. It gets worse. I'm picking up life signs ahead. I'll bet some of the stasis pods down here have opened. From what we know about the Fakiri, they probably won't be happy to see us. Worf and Martok need to see this. I'm picking up traces of Ketracel white in these tanks. The Dominion probably manufactured it here to keep the Fakiri in line, and took it with them when they left the facility. So, we have a station full of angry Fakiri with no way to pacify them. We've got company, and they don't look friendly. We're lucky there were only a few of them. I don't want to be around if all of these Fakiri wake up. Let's see if we can find some way to keep the rest of these pods from opening. by the prophets. More incoming. We need an exit plan. Fast.
Odo Takira, we're on our way to assist you. Are you...
I'll manage. Let's get out of here while we can.
Victory is life.
I say is Raktajino, but I don't say it every 5 seconds.
I think we've worn out our welcome. Garrick informs me that a number of unidentified vessels are emerging from hidden bays throughout the station. To make matters worse, the Herc have arrived. They're beginning to assault the station as we speak, and I don't need to tell you how that will end. It's time to leave. Looks like the Herc followed us down here.
I wonder what they want.
Keep moving. We're almost there.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
You might be right. Listen. Are you insane?
I'm relieved to see you well. It's fortunate we arrived when we did. A moment later, and that creature would have attacked the Founder.
Odo wasn't in any danger, Wayun. That Herc was peaceful. It was trying to communicate with us.
That's your opinion. Mine is that a founder was in danger of being attacked by a member of an aggressive species. My duty was clear, as is my conscience. We're wasting time here, Captain. The station is on the verge of being overrun by the Herc. If you want to communicate with them some more, you're free to do so, but I recommend we leave immediately.
Once we return to the upper levels, we will be able to beam up and leave this place. Are you ready to return?
Glad you could join us. As you can see, the situation here has become rather combustible. The Herc I recognize, of course, but our other opponents remain a mystery. Some new type of Dominion attack craft, perhaps? Akiri? The monsters from stories that keep naughty Klingon children alive? Be sure to fill me in once we manage to get out of this hellish attack. I remember Mr. Ward mentioning the Akiri. I'm beginning to see why they
massive Herc fleet dropping out of Borg shields has failed.
Just as the Fakiri are warning.
Looks like the Fakiri are pursuing the better part of valor. Can't say I blame them. There's a lot of
The Herc seem to be distracted. There's something about the station that's holding their attention. We might be able to take advantage of this.
Are you suggesting we attack? While it's true we have the advantage, for now, I don't think we'll hold it for long once we start blowing them apart. We have what we came for. If the Herc want to gnaw on an asteroid while we make a hasty exit, I believe we should let them enjoy their meal in peace.
Very well, we'll deal with the Herc later. For now, let's get back so we can analyze the research data we found here. Whenever you're ready.
The Founders never disappoint, do they? Learning their role in the creation of Klingon mythology was alarming, to say the least. I can't help but wonder what other secrets we'll learn once those ancient data files are restored. I'm afraid I have bad news to share. I reviewed your encounter with that peaceful Herc, and my universal translator analysis is clear. It was trying to communicate. It was asking for help. One thing is certain. The Founders won't forget our act of defiance. We should all be on guard from now on. Our uneasy peace with the Dominion could unravel all too soon.
My apologies for the quality of the transmission. I'm contacting you on an encrypted frequency. I'm working on an important covert mission, and I could use your assistance. I can't go into the details over comms, but you should know, if we pull this off, it could change the course of the Herc conflict in our favor. Meet with me on Deep Space Nine to go over the details. Come along. I've been asked to keep the details of the mission on a need-to-know basis, and right now, only you and I need to know.
Good luck.